What could be more painful and annoying than realizing that the person you are sharing your problems with is the source of your problem? Realizing this brings anger and disappointment. At one stage of our life or the other, we go through some challenging moments. At such a time, we always need someone we could trust, rely on, and confide in. We would love to talk to someone and share our problems with them. There is this popular saying that a problem shared is a problem half solved. This saying is very true and correct in situations whereby the people you are sharing your problems with are trustworthy, reliable, and are people who are actively seeking your good and not your downfall. In a world where lies, deceit, evil, and betrayal are the order of the day, a problem shared is not a problem half solved. Rather, a problem shared is a problem multiplied. The primary aim of sharing your problems with people is to get a solution or ease your pains and burdens, but when this aim is not achieved, then you need to refrain from sharing your problems or be very careful of the people you tell your problem to. If at all, you must tell someone. It is almost impossible for someone who does not know you to hurt or harm you. When a person does not know anything about you, it is difficult to hurt or cause you pain in any way. It is only the information people have about you that can be used to harm and cause a problem for you. When they know nothing about you, they cannot harm you. That is why the information you give to people about yourself might be the fuel to your problems. It is very true that the people we love and trust the most and who are closest to us hurt us the most. Keep your issues under lock and key. You would see them from afar and imagine that their shoulders will be heavily padded and comfy to cry on. In most cases, you might be disappointed when you draw closer. There is this story of two young lovers, Mark and Kathy. They loved and cared for each other so much, their relationship was going so well that a lot of people envied their bond. Philip was Mark's best friend and was also Kathy's co-worker and confidant. Mark and Kathy's relationship was doing fine until one day they had a misunderstanding. It is their custom to settle every misunderstanding before going to bed. But for some reason, they were unable to settle the misunderstanding that night. After a while, they settled the quarrel. But they both noticed there was a change in their relationship. They were not communicating as well as they did before. Kathy decided to confide in Philip about the situation of her relationship. Philip poisoned the mind of Kathy against Mark, making her think Mark does not love her anymore. Mark also noticed a change in their attitude of Kathy towards him. He also confided in his best friend about what was going on in his relationship. More so, Philip is Kathy's co-worker and confidant, so it would be easier for Philip to help him save his relationship that is on the verge of breaking apart. Instead of Philip trying to save his best friend's relationship, he was doing all that was within his power to break his best friend's relationship so he could have a chance with Kathy. He has always had his eyes on Kathy and was always working in secret to destroy their relationship so he can have an opportunity to satisfy his selfish desire. At some points in our individual lives, we find ourselves in the shoes of Mark and Kathy, where those we look onto for help or solution to the problem we are facing are the ones causing the problem. They pretend to help you, but in reality, they are adding fuel to the problem. They disguise themselves as friends, but are indeed enemies and do not wish you well at all. It can be very dangerous telling such people your problems, because it only helps them to do you more harm. We all indeed need someone who would understand and help us through challenging times. We need a soul to rely on, a shoulder to cry on, a friend and companion through the highs and the lows. But about 20% of the people you confide in do not care about your problem. 75% are happy that you have them, and only about 5 of you have waffle-wolled you to solve your problems. Hence, you must carefully select people you share your problems and challenges, because most times the people you are telling your problem might be your problem or the one fueling it. When you find out that the person you are sharing your problem with is the one being your problem all along, it leaves you shattered and betrayed. When you have been betrayed, you may be overcome with anger, grief, and humiliation. Holding in your painful feelings can have negative effects on your health and your relationships. Anyone that has ever been betrayed before would agree with me that being betrayed, especially by someone you trust so much, is not a good place to be in. And it is sometimes not very easy to heal from such experiences. One of the most painful things we will ever face is betrayal, and how we respond when we are betrayed is very important. The most common response to betrayal is to return evil for evil and to get bitter and resentful. It is normal to feel anger and sadness, but to stay angry and bitter is poisonous and dangerous for your health and general well-being. Staying angry and bitter will not change the fact that the other person has hurt you, and it most definitely will not punish them. How then should you respond to betrayal? If we have been betrayed by someone close to us, and eventually we all will be betrayed, as Christians, our first and best response to betrayal should be to cry out to Jesus who loves and cares for us. The good news is that God has already given us instructions on how to respond to betrayal. God says in Romans 12 verse 14, "Bless those who persecute you. Don't curse them, pray that God will bless them." He also went further in the 20th and 21st verses and said, "Instead, if your enemies are hungry, feed them. If they are thirsty, give them something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals of shame on their heads." Don't let evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good. It's very counterintuitive and it's very difficult, but it works. Betrayal is robbing of security through a breaking of trust. We overcome the heartache it causes by giving our pain to God. So here is how it works. Every day, begin the journey of praying for the person who hurt you. Choose to forgive them and ask God to bless their life and bring them to Christ. When you do this, God will melt the hardness in your heart. He will do a deep work in you so that at some point your pain and resentment will be replaced by the peace of the Holy Spirit. Forgiveness leads to empathy and compassion for those who have betrayed you. It also leads to a greater sense of personal peace. Forgiveness can have a positive effect on your health and well-being. Choosing to forgive a betrayal can lower your blood pressure, improve your heart health, and diminish anxiety and depression. It is a difficult process, but you can enter into it expecting God to show up. Jesus, the one who died on the cross and was betrayed by his closest friends, understands our feelings of betrayal intimately. Lean on him, and he will give you strength. It can be difficult to deal with betrayal when the person or people who have betrayed you are always nearby. If you were betrayed by a partner or a friend or a family member, ask them to give you space while you come to terms with what has happened. You might want to go away for a while. At all costs, avoid retaliating. There is no positive revenge. Revenge in the heat of the moment is something that you will come to regret later. Time spent calculating deliberate revenge is time spent at the expense of your emotional healing. Let go of every form of negative feelings. Pay more attention to yourself instead of the person who hurt you. Tell yourself you are not interested in letting betrayal control your life or your happiness. When a negative thought comes to your mind, do not suppress it. Instead, tell it to leave. In conclusion, it is very important to be able to discern to know who to talk to and who not to share problems with. It is only God that can help a man with such discerning ability. Man sees only the outward appearance, but God sees the heart of men and can tell those that wished you well and those who do not. Trust God to guide you to make relationships with those who are sincere and trustworthy, those who love and care for you genuinely.